education program is an integral part of all school activities. Yeah, it is a reality that quite a large number of schools are not having guidance services in their schools, but importance of guidance services is known to everybody. It is, as I have told, it is an integral part of the school. It is non-instructional in nature. Yeah, maybe that may be the reason many of the schools, they are not having this service in their schools, but importance is well known to everybody. And similarly, the main aim of this program is to help the students to overcome their problems and become self-independent and self-reliant. Yeah, we are going through the definition. Now there is a slide. As I have told, school guidance program, it constitutes a cluster of activities which enable the students to overcome their problems that they face during different phases of development, and it's an integral part of the school education, and at the same time it is not non-instructional in nature. Yeah, certainly it helps the students in learning, or it facilitates their learning, or it facilitates their decision making, it facilitates their development, but it is non-instructional. And similarly, if we can go through the definition of guidance, yeah, now there is a slide, a definition given by Smith. The guidance process consists of a group of services to individuals or students to assist them in securing the knowledge and skills needed in making adequate choices, plans and interpretations essential to satisfactory adjustment in a variety of areas. Yeah, now with going through this definition and reading this definition, we have come to know it is a process that aims at helping the individuals, helping or assisting, or helping and assisting is not just giving like one person is helping the another. It is helping students to realize how he or she can cope up with their problems and how they can take the best choices regarding like the decision they wanted to take, whether the decision is regarding like planning their studies or planning their career or any other type. See, as the school guidance programs, we have told it has a cluster of activities. That's why a comprehensive school guidance program has 6 services in it. The first service is known as orientation service. As the name explains, it's a self-activity. It is orienting the individual to the place where they are working, they are studying, or where they are going. The second is pupil inventory service. Similarly, as the meaning is the self-explanatory, it is having the total adequate information about the pupil or the students, so that the teacher or the guidance personnel can help the students to take the right choices. The third service is occupational service. As the name signifies, it is about the occupation a student intends to take and the abilities they have. The fourth is the counseling service. Counseling service is basically help the students or the individual to cope up with their socio-emotional problems. And the next service is placement service. Placement service, as the meaning signifies, it is helping the students or individual to take the right job, and they are like rapport with the employer and the employee. It helps the students or individual like how they can apply for the jobs and similar things. And next is the follow-up service. Yeah, follow-up service, we have given the last type of service, but it is the most significant service, because guidance does not stop when at the stage like the student is completing the schooling, or the student is completing his education, or student is completing her or is like joining a job. It is helping the students, or it is like getting the feedback from the students or getting the feedback from his peers, like what is the impact or the influence of that guidance on his future life. Now we are taking some of the services in in detail, but before going for that services, I would like to introduce you to the resource person that we have today with us in the studio. She is Mrs. Lata Ramohan. She is a teacher educator with specialization in guidance and counseling, and today she will be discussing with you explaining the cases, like because that she has like handled in her experience as a school teacher as well as a teacher educator. And now again I am coming back to the orientation service. See, orientation, as I have told, the name signifies it has some broad objectives. The objectives are: develop awareness regarding the rules and regulations of the school the student is studying, or the college the student is studying, or any other place that student is going for training, workshop, any other for learning. Yeah, it is develop awareness regarding the rules and regulations, functioning patterns, and available infrastructural and physical facilities in the school or institutions or workplace. Another is acquaint the students with the concerned staff and also the student body. Next, provide opportunities for the staff members and student body to interact with the newcomers. I think you must have even read in the newspapers, like now when the students they are going for colleges, there are counseling services, there are orientation programs, there are orientation camps organized by the college staff or even the student union. And one more is develop favorable attitudes among the students both towards the school and the staff. Similarly, how we can organize the orientation services? As I was telling, like in the college admission time, you might have even heard like the last year's percentage, the number of courses offered by a college, the number of like the centralized availability of centralized form, and these all are a part of orientation services. Basically, we can divide the orientation services into two types. One is pre-admission orientation and second is post-admission orientation. Pre-admission orientation is giving the students all the information that the students will need for taking admission in a particular course or in a particular institution. Like having exhibitions, having counseling camps, even orientation like the information center, these becomes a part of pre-admission orientation. The second type of orientation service is known as post-orientation services. As the name signifies, it is for the students they have already taken admission in a school or a college, and to orient him or her to the various types of activities, various subjects, various classes, various like various other things, like the location of the library, location of the activity room, the teachers, the classroom teacher and the other teachers they are teaching them, and even the other teachers they are working in the, even similarly the location, the counselor and the location of the guidance center, all those things will come in the post-admission orientation. Post-admission orientation is after students has taken admission in the course or the school. The next service, the popular service, is pupil inventory service. Pupil inventory service aims at identification of various abilities of students and helping them to know like they have their abilities and what are their weaknesses, helping them to overcome their weaknesses and strengthening their abilities. And second thing is, like, one of the important thing of this service is, here the counselor has a responsibility of maintaining various records of each and every students of the school or the college, and to update them periodically. Even updation is equally important, because having a information that a student was having 6 years back and placing that information today is a redundant exercise. The third service is occupational information service. It aims at creating awareness of the necessary occupational and educational information. Second is develop a broad and realistic view of the various educational, training and occupational opportunities. Next is help the students obtain and interpret the information they need in making specific plans for their future career. After occupational information service, the next is counseling service. See, counseling service is basically focusing on helping the students to cope up with their socio-emotional problems rather than occupational and placement and other types of information. The objectives are assist the students in the process of all-round development, provide an opportunity to the students to discuss their plans and problems with a professional in a conducive environment. Means here the student has been given a trust. The counselor is a professional person and he has all the skills a counselor should have, because even then students are spending most of their times with the teachers, but maybe teacher may not be a professional counselor. Generally teachers are not professional counselors, and even they may not have all the adequate skills a professional counselor has. And if a student and teacher's rapport or the trust is not built, student will not be able to discuss her or his problems with the teachers. But in counseling service, because he or she is discussing her problem with a professional, and a professional person is in a position to provide a conducive environment, it helps the students to discuss their problems so that they are in a position to cope up with their problems better. And another is, it aims to prepare an individual person capable of self-directed and self-sufficient in nature. One of the basic aim of guidance service is to help the student to be a self-reliant, self-independent person, so that they can lead their future life better. Now we have placement service, because after completing their education, everybody is entering into the world of work, whether it's a entrepreneurship, whether it's working on their own, or whether doing a job, salaried job or honorary job, working as a leader or as a worker. Because everybody is entering into the world of work, the main objectives of the placement services facilitate the process of meeting the needs of both employer and the prospective employee. Second is orient the students to some of the jobs applying techniques. Follow-up service. As I have told in the beginning, follow-up service is the last but the most important service, because it keeps the tracks. It is the link between the professional counselor and the students. It sees whatever assistance or whatever guidance, whatever services we have provided, whether they have worked to the extent that we have expected, or to what extent they are effective. That's why the main objective is to learn the nature and extent of progress of the students even after one leaves the school. See, it is even the guidance beyond the school. Purpose of using this service or having this service in the school guidance program is, It draws upon information from the former students, alumni, regarding the extent of influence or effectiveness of the school guidance program. Second is, it is based on the feedback obtained, and on the basis of those feedback obtained, they have made relevant changes that helps in making the relevant changes in the school guidance program. See, the follow-up activities, the follow-up service, it has three main steps. The one step is a systematic gathering of data from the alumni. See, it is not compilation of any data. The data has to be compiled in a systematic manner so that some relevant it can lead to relevant interpretation. The second is interpretation and presentation of that data to all the concerned personnel. See, all the concerned personnel are student, parents, community, school teacher, and on the basis of the interpretation to suggest a modified framework of educational programs based on the findings made. See, it is not that every time we have to modify the the educational program. It gives the indications whether there is a need of modification or which aspects we need modification. It gives the overall evaluation of the existing educational program. And now we have Lata Ram Mohan with us, and now I am asking Lata, because she has worked in a school as well as in a college, and see, Lata, like orientation service as we have, we know the name, as the name is a like explanatory. It is orienting.
Yes,
like generally, like why school organize these services and how they organize it.
Good evening, friends.
Yes.
I'm very glad to be here with you all to discuss on the topic guidance services in schools. At the outset of any discussion or talk or conference, I invariably fall on two lines. That is, child, give me your hand so that we can walk in the sunshine of love. From there itself, the essence of guidance is taken. We can draw that. Guidance is not just helping, it is assistance, it's a personal assistance rendered in the form of warmth, love, so that the total development of personality occurs. As ma'am rightly said, there are many types of services in school, and main one is orientation. This is an integral part of guidance service, because there are children who are shifting from one school to another, there are children shifting from school to college, from a village to city, so they need to have an orientation. They should get familiar with the institution where they have joined now. It takes lot of time to get adjusted to the new environment. That is why orientation service is very, very necessary, and it has to be an integral part of any institution. They are all of a sudden, when they are shifting to a new campus, they feel a little out of place, so they have to get familiar with the school ambience or the institution, so that learning becomes a very natural process.
Lata, one more thing I would like. There are now the schools are from pre-primary to senior secondary,
yes,
like the +2,
yes,
and see the type of orientation service for the preschool children and the primary school children and the secondary, senior secondary, like whether the same service could be, or it has a variation.
No ma'am, there are lot of variation. Preschool requirement, admission requirement is very, very different from those who are already there in the secondary and the higher secondary. In preschool, even the parents need to be oriented towards the new environment. They should know what the infrastructure is, what the school is like, what are the facilities available in school, so that they will be happy that their children are in safe hands. This is very, very vital in today's world, because children are commuting from far. The distance also matters. They should know whether their children, their wards are placed in safe hands. So it is very important that preschool school admission is provided, and when we talk of post admission, it means the students are in the school, but they would this guidance services would try to collect all the information, personal, social, emotional, everything about the students are collected and recorded. It is for keeps throughout their academic session in the school. It is maintained. Whereas one thing, when we talk of secondary and higher secondary, the needs are very, very different. They should be oriented towards the career. They should be oriented towards the various courses available in school, all the infrastructure, all the facilities in school, about their physical well-being, their mental well-being, everything will be considered in that. And of course, when we are talking of higher secondary, especially class 11 and 12, orientation is entirely on their vocational growth. So in this way, the orientation program or service is very different in various stages of school.
See, Lata, you have experience in a school, and even you
Yes.
have interacted and even taught students there at the +2 stage also.
Yes.
Like from your experience, you tell this thing, like how this orientation service help like those high secondary or senior secondary students.
Yes, ma'am, it's very much required. It has to be an integral part, because once they are in, once 10th class is over, they are at a dilemma of what course to take. There is parental pressure, there is peer pressure, there are many academic demands, and in this type of highly competitive world, they do not know where to draw information. This is where such orientation services comes in very handy. They provide all the required information about the few careers, what the vocation they can choose, what are the various opportunities thrown in front of them, how they can proceed towards such courses. Along with vocational service, orientation is also given. And it gives them a chance to interact with all the departments also.
Yeah, it means the orientation is very essential because it familiarizes the students with the people and with the department, with the facilities, with the
staff,
demands,
with everything about the society also. They owe it to the society that their contribution is very much required for the society. So what best they can contribute to that.
See, now Lata, like there is another service, pupil inventory service.
Yes.
As I told, like, it helps in the identification of various abilities.
Actually, ma'am,
of the students, and even maintaining records. See, like generally the schools are doing this service as seriously as like the orientation service. This I wanted to know from your experience.
Here I am reminded of a quotation. It says, "Full many a flower is born to blush unseen, and waste its sweetness in the desert air." The line means that there are many who have very many hidden talents, and the school, the environment doesn't tap this various talent, and therefore they die a natural death. I mean the talent. There are many such flowers which have not blossomed properly because of the lack of encouragement and guidance. So this is where pupil inventory would be very handy and helpful. It helps in identifying the attitudes, the aptitudes, their interests, their talents, etc. And once it is recorded, it helps the teachers also to channelize their energy in the right direction. That is also very important. Adolescents, they have immense potential and talent, and unless they are channelized in the right direction, it will lead out to burnouts, dropouts, wastage and stagnation. So we have to see, we have to maintain this inventory, the record. Now all schools, though of late, they have started maintaining a cumulative record plus anecdotal record, where all the incidents and anecdotes are all recorded. It's not just their plus points which are recorded, their weakness, their limitation in their interest, their aptitude, everything is maintained.
Yeah, because I have seen students after getting so good marks in 10th and 12th, many times like after 10th, the majority, like a significant number of
Yeah.
students, they are very confused.
They are at a
like which-
dilemma
yeah,
of
which
what to
this
do.
thing, whether
Even
science
personal
subject-
example, you and I
Yes.
have experienced, we wouldn't know what their real interest lies. Marks may show that they are very good in science, but their interest may be in something else. So such inventories, such activities, school should also provide various tests. It can be, verbal, non-verbal, psychological, any type of test in order to identify their talents and interests and then divert them towards those particular courses and careers.
Yeah, I think here the role of a school teacher is very, very important, because school teacher spends most of the time with the students.
Yes.
And along with the teacher, parents can play a very
Yes.
positive role.
Yes.
And they can provide the important, significant information to the counselor, and so that right interpretation, the right guidance could be given to the
Yes.
students.
More
Now-
than the counselor, it's a school teacher who has more interaction, they're spending more time with the student, and therefore it is their role is more significant, I must say.
And now, Lata, we have come to know about the importance of orientation service and pupil inventory service. Yeah, there is a occupational service. See, one more thing, now we are focusing, because first two services, orientation as well as inventory services, are relevant for all children,
Also,
from preschool to senior, even
Yes,
college.
even
like this.
senior,
Because
secondary
we are
or
focusing
college.
on schools, that's why. Occupational service. See, the importance of occupational service is known to all of us, but how much relevant it is in the pre-primary stage and then even the secondary and senior stage. If Lata, if you can throw a light on this.
Definitely. Of course, we live in the 21st century today. There has been tremendous advancement in all walks of life. Along with that, we have multitude of problems of children. They do not know where to go and how to go. There is nobody to give them the right direction. Especially when they come to the secondary and the senior secondary, they start having their own ideas, their own talents. They have to start becoming aware of their own talents. This is where occupational or vocational guidance comes in handy. This helps them to go in the right direction. It identifies their real ability, their talent, and from there, the future course of action can be planned and taken. Once they leave school, they will not be isolated from others. They would know from where to go, where to collect information, what are the institutions which provide the courses that they would like to join. So this is why vocational guidance services are helpful.
I think these are more relevant at the
And the secondary and senior secondary. Till 10th, as you all know, the subjects are very common for all. They have to learn special subjects like their language and the science and social studies and all that. After 10th, it is the turning point. They have to make a decision on what course of action they would take in future, whether they should go for science, the humanities, commerce, what is their real interest, etc. Where parental pressure at this time is tremendous. At the same time, peer pressure is also there. They would like to ape their peers. If their friend takes science, they may be tempted to take science irrespective of what their interest is. So vocational services are provided so that their real interest, their abilities and attitudes can be reckoned, so that they can be channelized in the right direction.
Lata, one more thing, now even so many new careers have emerged.
Very
because
true.
maybe as the conflict between the parents and the children, it may be due to because so many emerging careers have emerged and they are very successful careers.
Yes.
But as a parent, because either we may not be aware of, or we have not a complete the picture or scenario
Yes,
of
very
these careers, and child what may be having, this may be a conflicting thing. But as a teacher, how a teacher or the counselor can help the parents as well as the students in
Yes, sir.
taking the right, because the student has the ability and even the ability to go as a successful person,
Person.
leader in that career, then even like there is a role like a counselor teacher has to play to convince the parents.
Very
the student
true.
is right.
Parents
Parent
too
has
have to
change.
be involved in this. NCERT rightly says it is not just an isolated process, it's a sub-process, an integral part of education. Along with them, the basic aim is for overall enhancement of learning. Not just learning a skill of knowledge or anything, how to interact with the outside world and how to know the inner self. For this, parents help, parents assistance, parents cooperation above all is very, very necessary. They should also be oriented towards the various job opportunities. They should not stick to the traditional one and like father, like son. In many houses this happens. So their view should not be limited to that. They should also be exposed. So I say that when vocational services is provided to students, invariably the parents also should be drawn to this. So it should be a coordinated effort among the school teacher, the counselor, the student. Though our basic aim is the wholesomeness of a student's life, to lead him to an efficient life as well as a good life. For that, parents' cooperation is very, very important. So they need to be drawn into any discussion of any sort. Their opinion, their suggestions should also be reckoned with. But ultimately, it is the student that we are concerned about. So their well-being, the student's well-being is our ultimate aim. So for this, coordination from all directions, the principal, the headmaster, the coordinator, the counselor, the facilitator, the school teacher, we all have to play together.
See, now, we have we have covered the services like the orientation, then having information about the pupil, pupil inventory service, then occupation, then placement, and now it's a counseling service. See, this is like we say it is the most fundamental part of the guidance process.
Very true. So far we have been discussing about career and vocational and academic progress. But what is most important is for a student to lead an efficient and a good life. The wellness is the key word in today's world, wellness. So for this, their emotional stability. And their, that emotional quotient has to be considered. That is why, as you rightly said, counseling is a fundamental part, is an integral part of guidance. We cannot isolate it as such. Ultimately, as I said earlier also many times, students' well-being, wellness is the most key word here. So for that, counseling is very, very important, can be directed. As I said, client here is the student. He is very, very, his well-being is what is to be considered. So a counselor can give personal counseling, individual counseling, will know about the problem, the turmoil, the trauma, the confusion, and would help him to come out of this. And especially in adolescence and pre-adolescent time, we know that it's a transition period. They are one step ahead of childhood and one step behind adulthood. There are physical changes, there are psychological changes, emotional changes. So in order to help the child to come out, to overcome all this problem, counseling is provided. Many schools have realized the seriousness of having a counselor with them, and they are doing a great service to the schools and to the children, and in this way they are helping the parents also to cope up with this problem.
Yeah, Lata, I feel like the orientation and the pupil event services, even counseling service is relevant for all the
for
students.
all students, and this is an ongoing process, and it's a continuous process. We earlier they believed that guidance or counseling is only meant for a few needed, like problem children. Here I must remind you that there are no problem children. There may be problems in children, but labeling a child as a problem child, this happens in many schools. This is a drawback with many teachers I have seen. They label label the child as a problem child, as a naughty child, as a gifted child. In this way, we are doing a heinous crime, ma'am. Labeling is should be avoided as such. We can identify the problems in children, but we can't categorize them as problem children.
But Lata, yeah, as you are sort of labeling the child, I think even the labeling has also prevented the students or the parents even to take their children to the counselor.
Very, that is, they hesitate, they think that only those who are needy, only those who are handicapped should be provided counseling, but I totally disagree. Counseling, even the NCERT has suggested it should be a continuous process and it's for all students. Irrespective of in which class they are or what they are, whether they are gifted, handicapped, specially abled, there is no categorization in counseling. It should be for all, and the impact will be felt by everybody, not just the student. The school will benefit, the student of course would benefit, the parents would, the society, even the nation would benefit.
Yeah, then Lata, it means like counseling we should go by the meaning of the word counseling. It is not the labeling or the somebody has problem. It is the assistance
providing
given to the individual, and with that assistance, that individual or the student is able to identify or to realize his weaknesses or even get ideas and strategies so that they can
improve upon that, or
accept overcome as it is and overcome their weaknesses, and can
go forward in life.
Influence, it can have a positive life in
future. They can go forward.
Okay, now we are going for there is one more services, placement services.
Yes.
As I have given in the beginning the presentation, how the placement services role has been played by school, because generally placement is, we have employment bureaus. Now universities have employment cell, but I have not come across any the school they have placement services.
Of late, even in colleges where we are teaching, B.Ed colleges, they have a placement cell. It's it's a communication, it's an ongoing communication. It is not just for helping the students to get good placements or job. Other than that, they provide information about all the job opportunities. They put notices so that children become aware of the advertisement, where they can utilize their talents, their degree, etc., and they can come back. Actually, the relation between the school and the alumni, it should be constantly maintained. Every year, once in a year at least, the alumni interaction should be there, so that we would know what their progress is. Unless we do this, it is just like a doctor prescribing a medicine and leaving the patient on the bed. That is it. And so we have to go on checking the progress, whether they have achieved where their target is, whether they have reached where they want to be, and if not, from their feedback we can still modify, help them and give them directions.
Yeah, but as far as I know, under my the experience goes, I think the placement service is not very popular at the school.
At school level.
But one thing, see, there are large chunk of students, either they are school dropouts or they have to discontinue their studies after secondary or senior secondary, and they have to work. And
very true. This is where placement cell will help them very much. If unfortunately if they have to drop out, or if they have to find a part-time job, there also placement cell can help them to find a part-time job, to find an employer who can help them with their studies, and also provide financial assistance. So in this way, it is not just for giving job opportunities for children. It is in a way it will check the dropouts also and help them.
Earn while they can earn, and then they can sustain their education. If
and further, studies also they can.
Similarly, we have one more service, follow-up service. See,
Along with
presentation I have told,
placement, yes.
but how follow-up service is helpful for a student?
For any treatment, there, as I said earlier, there has to be a follow-up. We should know whether our students have reached where they have to reach. So, if not, we take the feedback, do modification, and help them, try where they
Acha,
have.
one more thing, say all the other services that we have discussed, they were aiming at helping the students or the individuals. But this follow-up service is helpful for the students as well as for the guidance program of the
Yes,
school.
very much.
But how, like,
There we have various ways of doing it. First is the systematic collection, as you have already shown in your presentation. Collection of data, where they are, what their job profile is, how they are making use of their talents, their abilities, etc. So we make a systematic collection of data. Then we interpret the data, and from the interpretation and data collection, we make possible changes.
yeah, and one more thing, like as the impact of the guidance programs, and even it also gives feedback to the guidance program of the school, and it helps
With
the
that,
school
they
to
modify their program.
Yeah,
Very true.
and today, as the time is the time of the
Running
session
up,
is coming to like the end, and as you all know, today we have discussed various guidance services that are an integral part of the school guidance program. And see, a good school guidance program should have all the activities in totality, but it depends on the school. So far the importance of guidance has been realized at the school stage, but still
Much
there are
more.
schools, they are not having these school guidance programs. And today I think you must have, I hope you have enjoyed the presentation as well as the discussion, and in future we will be taking this the similar topics and presenting you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.